We've all heard the saying, don't judge a book by its cover, and it doesn't just apply to humans, it applies to animals too. While some terrifying creatures are actually harmless to humans, there are also cute-looking animals that are far more dangerous than they seem. From highly intelligent mammals to the largest marsupials, here are 20 cute animals you need to run away from. Number 20. Platypuses. Many people believe that the duck-billed platypus is a soft and cuddly creature, maybe like Perry the platypus in the Phineas and Ferb cartoon. But that notion is completely wrong. The platypus, renowned as one of the few mammals that lay eggs, is also one of the few venomous mammals. The males can deliver a megasting that causes immediate, excruciating pain, like hundreds of hornet stings, leaving victims incapacitated for weeks. Now, scientists are reporting advancements toward deciphering the chemical composition of the venom, with the first identification of a dozen protein building blocks. Their study is in the Journal of the American Chemical Society, a weekly publication. The study, titled Duck-billed platypus venom peptides induces Ca2+ influx in neuroblastoma cells, aims to unlock its secrets. The scientists collected samples of platypus venom and used high-tech analytical instruments to separate and characterize its components. This enabled them to identify 11 new peptides or protein subunits in the venom. Studies using nerve cells suggest that one of these substances, called heptopeptide 1, is the main agent responsible for triggering pain. Their findings suggest that the substance appears to work by interacting with certain receptors in the nerve cells. Number 19. Tasmanian devils. The Tasmanian devil happens to be the world's largest carnivorous marsupial, reaching 30 inches in length and weighing up to 26 pounds. Although its size will vary widely depending on where it lives and the availability of food, its oversized head houses sharp teeth and strong, muscular jaws that can deliver, pound for pound, one of the most powerful bites of any mammal. You've probably seen Tasmanian devils have a reputation for flying into a rage when threatened by a predator, fighting for a mate, or especially defending a meal. They got their name from early European settlers who dubbed them devils after witnessing displays such as teeth-baring, lunging, and an array of spine-chilling guttural growls. These behaviors also inspired the Looney Tunes portrayal of Taz, the Tasmanian devil, as a snarling lunatic. But this reputation might not be totally fair to them. Though the Tasmanian devil may seem aggressive, many of these behaviors are merely feeding rituals or, most times, fear-induced. Number 18. Kangaroos. Many tourists assume that kangaroos are cute, cuddly animals that are ideal for taking the perfect selfie. However, the reality, as most Australians know and many tourists find out, is that kangaroos are immense, powerful wild animals that should be given respect and, most importantly, distance. In the town of Morisset in New South Wales, there is a functioning mental hospital where wild kangaroos often flock. According to the BBC, the local MP, Member of Parliament, Greg Piper, estimates that about 3,000 tourists come every week to try and get a picture with the kangaroos. They come mainly because of posts on social media telling them the best places to see the marsupials. The tourists also frequently bring snacks that they feed the kangaroos in the hope of attracting them for a photo. But this is where the main problem lies. Once the kangaroos come to associate tourists with food, they expect to always get food whenever the tourists show up. And if the tourists do not oblige, the kangaroos, especially the larger males, may become aggressive. The males can be over 6 feet tall and have immensely powerful legs. They can severely harm a person with their punches, kicks, and sharp claws. Enough tourists have been hurt in Morisset that an official warning was given to stop feeding the kangaroos. Number 17. Swans. These graceful waterfowl birds can be dangerous, but exactly how dangerous can they get? 37-year-old Anthony Hensley worked for a company that provided swans to keep geese away from the property. On Saturday morning, the married father of 2 set out in a kayak across a pond at a residential complex in Plainfield, just outside Chicago, where he was tending the birds. All of a sudden, one of the swans charged his boat, capsizing it. And it doesn't just end there. Anthony had tried to swim to shore, but the swan appeared to have actively blocked him. According to ornithologists, the swan's aggressive reaction is typical for the species, the mute swan, especially when defending a nest. The males are fierce in defense of their nests, especially during the spring nesting season, which lasts from April to June. The birds are one of the largest waterfowl in North America and Europe, weighing up to 13 kilograms with a wingspan of up to 7.9 feet, making them one of the heaviest flying birds. In the UK, in April 2010, a swan on the River Cam in England made the news after repeatedly attacking rowers. It was nicknamed Mr. Aspo, named after the antisocial behavior orders issued by UK courts at the time. 2 years went by, and there are still calls for it to be removed from the river as the seasonal attacks go on. Number 16. Beavers. Beavers are not dangerous if left alone. However, they will stand their ground and confront a threat right before they charge for an attack. Beavers carry tularemia, parasites, and rabies, which can transfer through bites, bodily fluids, and infected water. But not to fear, you'll have plenty of time to run when you come in contact with a beaver. Why, you ask? Well, before beavers attack humans or other animals, they send a warning by growling and hissing. These animals are rarely hostile, but beavers are very dangerous to people under the right conditions. On land, the animal rises to its hind legs to face a threat, but in the water, a startled beaver slaps its tail against the surface to alert others in the colony before diving to safety. But as it turns out, beavers can be very deadly. A man over in Belarus was killed after getting too close to a beaver he was trying to photograph. Sky News reports that the 60-year-old man was fishing with two friends on Lake Shestakov in Belarus when they noticed the beaver standing on the side of the road. When the man approached the beaver to take a close-up photograph, the beaver suddenly pounced on him and bit him in the thigh. The bite was so bad that it severely damaged the man's artery, and he bled to death before he could receive proper medical assistance. Number 15. Slow lorises. Slow lorises are a small group of wide-eyed, nocturnal primates found in the forests of South and Southeast Asia. And as usual, they might look adorable but think twice before snuggling up to one. Scientists have long been fascinated with slow lorises, and until now, they haven't been able to pinpoint exactly why they have venom or how they use it. However, a new study suggests that slow lorises mainly use their toxic bites in fights against each other, instead of defending themselves against other species. These territorial disputes can be brutal, with lorises often fighting over mates or food resources. The venom gives them a significant advantage in these conflicts, as it can incapacitate their rivals and leave lasting injuries. Interestingly, the venom of the slow loris is chemically similar to allergens found in cat dander, which may explain why some humans experience severe allergic reactions to their bites. Despite their venomous nature, slow lorises are often captured and sold in the illegal pet trade, where their teeth are cruelly clipped to prevent bites, leaving them defenseless and vulnerable to infections. Habitat destruction has also put immense pressure on their populations, as deforestation continues to shrink the forests they call home. Conservationists are working to protect these unique primates, but their slow reproductive rate and specialized habitat needs make recovery efforts challenging. A bite from a loris is not to be taken lightly. They have glands underneath their armpits that produce noxious oil, and when they lick those glands, their saliva combines with the oil to concoct the venom. It then fills into their grooved canines, which deliver a grisly bite strong enough to pierce through bone. The venom then causes the victim's flesh to rot away, and some lorises have even been seen with half their faces melted off. Now it's time for today's topic. In the case of dolphins, they are often seen as the ocean's friendliest and cutest marine animals. However, recent footage has sparked a chilling debate about a possible new mutation in dolphins that makes them far more aggressive and even capable of hunting sharks. The shocking video, captured by marine enthusiast Aaron Winchester, shows a dolphin overpowering and devouring a shark in a brutal display of dominance. Experts believe this behavior may be linked to a new subspecies of dolphins that have developed enhanced speed, strength, and even sharper teeth. In the video, the dolphin appears to attack the shark with precision, using its agility and flexibility to outmaneuver the apex predator. The shark, unable to match the dolphin's speed and horizontal tail movement, was quickly overpowered and torn apart. Some scientists speculate that this mutation could be a result of environmental changes or competition for food, forcing dolphins to evolve into more aggressive hunters. Others argue it could be an isolated incident of self-defense, as the dolphin may have been protecting its young. Regardless, this encounter has left marine biologists and enthusiasts stunned. Could this be the rise of a new predator in the ocean? Let us know your thoughts on this shocking behavior in the comments. Number 14. Blue-ringed octopus. At first glance, the blue-ringed octopus looks perfectly harmless, and coupled with its psychedelic coloring and pint-sized packaging, it seems more adorable than alarming. But don't let its cuddly exterior fool you, as this tiny octopus can kill you within seconds. Native to the Pacific Ocean, the blue-ringed octopus can be found on the soft, sandy bottom of shallow tide pools and coral reefs. When not seeking food or a mate, these octopuses often hide in crevices, shells, or marine debris. If you catch them outside of their cozy hiding spots, you'll realize why they're called blue-ringed octopuses. When threatened, bright blue rings appear all over its body as a warning signal to potential predators. It's no surprise that it's recognized as one of the most dangerous animals in the ocean. So, if you're curious about what its bite is like, it's totally painless, and you might not realize you've been bitten until it's too late. But it can be very lethal, as the venom blocks nerve signals throughout the body, causing muscle numbness. Other symptoms include nausea, vision loss or blindness, loss of senses, and loss of motor skills. Ultimately, it will cause muscle paralysis, including the muscles needed for humans to breathe, leading to respiratory arrest. And like the pufferfish, there is no known antidote, but victims can be saved if artificial respiration is started immediately. Number 13. Otters. Among all the fluffy kittens and big-eyed puppies in the world, another one of Earth's cutest animals is often said to be the cuddly little otter. But don't be fooled by the hand-holding and cheek-rubbing scenes in pictures used for memes, posters, and throw pillows. Otters are still wild animals and can be pretty dangerous. These creatures can be found living on almost every continent on Earth, and these mean otter facts apply to all 13 species, many of which are unfortunately endangered due to overhunting, habitat destruction, and pandemic viruses, among other population threats. Despite this, they still draw quite the human fan club with their adorable appearance, their playfulness, and their energetic antics. While they slide down hills, wrestle with each other, and engage in other cute, human-like hobbies, people can easily overlook the horrors otters inflict on the members of their own species as well as others. First of all, it would be unfair to judge and characterize an entire subfamily of mammals through human moralization, but it's a fact that otters can be pretty vicious. Although specialists say otter attacks on humans are rare, there are a number of documented cases. A study found there have been 39 anecdotal cases of attacks on humans reported in newspapers since 1875 and 4 documented in scientific literature. Like most animals, if an otter or its babies feel threatened, they will definitely become aggressive. And most incidents happen while a person is either swimming or walking near water. Number 12. Leopard seals. Leopard seals are huge, armed with a mouthful of imposing teeth, and have a colorful history of run-ins with humans. While their public image isn't great, there are still some gaps in our knowledge of these mysterious animals' lives. When you think of seals, a moon-faced, snow-white harp seal pup may come to mind. With a reptilian-looking head, a taste for adorable penguins, and a rather violent method for breaking apart their prey, leopard seals don't exactly fit this fluffy seal ideal. But are they actually as bad as some movies and documentaries would have you believe? Leopard seals are the only seal species known to actively prey on other seals, taking pups of crab-eater, Weddell, Ross, southern elephant, and Antarctic fur seals. But when humans and leopard seals come face to face, our interactions don't always go well, as many fatalities have been recorded. Like other seal species, leopard seals will chase or try to bite intruders when they haul out near human populations. Authorities tend to warn inquisitive people to keep their distance. According to reports, in 2003, researcher Kirsty Brown was dragged deep underwater by a leopard seal in Antarctica. Following her death, an investigation based on 30 years of recorded interactions found that the seals are generally more likely to attack humans at the ice edge. But humans are not typical prey for leopard seals. However, our shape is probably fairly similar to that of a penguin as we waddle along the ice. Number 11. Raccoons. One of the cutest rodents on your property is the raccoon. You take time out of your busy schedule to admire them for a second, but in truth, raccoons have masks over their eyes because they could rob even a bank vault. And by bank vault, I mean your garden if you have one, that is. Raccoons make excellent climbers, swimmers, jumpers, and runners. Their 5-toed paws make them very dexterous, and their agility can allow them to outsmart every human concoction used to deter them. And if they aren't breaking into your garden, they might try to climb into your chimney to use it as a den. These rodents are nocturnal and omnivorous, meaning they eat anything from grubs to crayfish, as well as all the plants and vegetables that you have in your garden too. Especially in the fall, they develop a taste for fruits like apples, peaches, and pears, but they also enjoy a variety of vegetables like sweet corn, potatoes, and peas. Even though wild raccoons prefer areas with trees and a source of water, more and more of them are raiding gardens because gardens are the easiest food source you can reach. They'll be even happier if you have a source of water and some forest near your garden, as it makes for a great raccoon resort. Number 10. Pufferfish. It's always the cute ones that have some dark secrets amongst these animals, and while the pufferfish may be extremely cute-looking, they are the second most poisonous vertebrate in the world. Certain internal organs, such as the liver and eyes, and sometimes the skin, contain tetrodotoxin, a substance that makes them foul-tasting and often lethal to other fish. To humans, this tetrodotoxin is very deadly. In fact, it's about 1,200 times more poisonous than cyanide. There's just about enough toxin in one pufferfish to kill 30 adult humans, and unfortunately, there's no such thing as an antidote. Pufferfish are poor swimmers and are very vulnerable to predators. Instead of trying to escape, they'll ingest huge amounts of water and even air when necessary into their highly elastic stomachs, quickly turning themselves into a virtually inedible ball several times their normal size. All puffers have pointed spines, so even if they are not visible when the puffer is not inflated, a hungry predator may suddenly find itself with a mouthful of a pointy ball rather than a slow, tasty fish. Number 9. Poisonous dart frog. The poison dart frog is the common name for a group of frogs in the Dendrobatidae family, which are native to tropical Central and South America. Despite their small size of only a few centimeters, these frogs are not only fascinating but also truly deadly. Only a fleeting touch of the frog can be fatal to a predator, and a tiny droplet of their poison can kill an animal the size of a horse. Moreover, these frogs do not excrete only one type of poison but a mixture of several different toxic substances. Members of native South American tribes obtain a sharp poison from these frogs by pricking them on their sticks and roasting them over a fire. They then apply the poison to the tips of darts for their blowguns. However, the poisoned dart frog is not poisonous by itself, but by obtaining its deadly substance from its natural food, which mostly consists of poisonous insects. The poison dart frogs have succeeded in adapting to ingesting these poisonous organisms harmlessly and, at the same time, modifying these toxins. Number 8. Honey badgers. It is not for nothing that the honey badger has earned the reputation of being the most fearless animal in the world. Despite its small size, this carnivore is known for its ferocious defensive abilities and aggressive nature. According to The Independent, honey badgers have been described in the Guinness Book of Records as the most fearless animal in the world and can even fight off much larger predators like lions and hyenas. An extraordinary video that is going viral online shows a pair of honey badgers doing just that. In the video, which has resurfaced on social media after being shared by Indian Forest Service officer Susant Ananda, a pair of honey badgers can be seen taking on a pride of lions. Despite being outnumbered by animals much larger than themselves, the honey badgers were filmed winning the battle and forcing the big cats to retreat. The honey badger is known for its strength, ferocity, and toughness. It's known to savagely and fearlessly attack almost any other species when they are cornered, reportedly even repelling much larger predators such as lions and hyenas. Number 7. Koalas. Everyone just loves everything about these fluffy, teddy-like animals. I mean, what's not to love about koalas, right? This cuddly-looking, cute marsupial is the living embodiment of a cartoon teddy bear. They're regarded as nature's stuffed animals, just chilling the day away, eating eucalyptus, and loving life. But if that's your impression of these miserable animals, then you are in dire need of enlightenment. Koalas are partly dangerous. Anyone unfortunate enough to come into contact with one of these little devils knows the savage truth. These ferocious little animals may look like kind little cuties just waiting for a friend, but that's far from the truth. There are many reasons koalas are actually horrible animals, from rampant attacks on the people they encounter to the disgusting behavior of their young. Koalas are just terrible to their core. Even more unnerving, koalas can transmit chlamydia to any humans that come into contact with their urine, and it's not unheard of that koalas will urinate directly onto people. Meaning, about 40,000 koalas are roaming the bush in Western Australia and can potentially give people an STI just by peeing. There are many other mean facts about these creatures, but none as lethal as the disease they can spread. Koalas only tend to attack when they perceive they're in danger or when they want to protect their young. Number 6. Dolphins. Dolphins have made a name for themselves in the past years. They are known for their intelligence and their friendly interaction with humans on a regular basis. But you might think that their perpetual grin and overall friendly demeanor make them entirely safe. In fact, these mysterious creatures have been responsible for more than a few vicious and fatal attacks. Dolphins actually possess very sharp teeth that they usually use to rip their prey apart. The bottlenose dolphins, for example, have between 80 to 100 teeth that they use in gripping and securing prey. However, the creatures can and do bite humans on occasion. Because of the potential danger, officials at the Commerce Department's National Marine Fisheries Service have even released flyers with warnings that dozens of bites have been reported, and people have been pulled underwater by the animals. In fact, there was a time in 2012 when an 8-year-old girl was infamously bitten by a dolphin at SeaWorld. Dolphins do more than just bite their victims during an attack. When a woman named Valerie Ryan was attacked by a dolphin, the animal plowed into her with its snout. It was very powerful and painful, and at such a great speed, the incident left the woman with 6 spinal fractures, 3 broken ribs, a damaged lung, as well as post-traumatic stress. All the more reason why the world should fear dolphins, not sharks. When animals with strong defense mechanisms come face to face with a dolphin, especially during mealtime, the dolphins tend to beat the life out of such prey by viciously and relentlessly tossing them around to break into smaller pieces before consuming them. Number 5. Giant anteaters. As the name implies, this creature was named after its likeness to a particular type of meal, and you can't miss its long snout. But there's more to the story of the giant anteater. The giant anteater is about the size of a golden retriever, but its thick, bushy hair makes it look even bigger. We all know that the giant anteater's sense of smell is 40 times more powerful than ours and that a giant anteater is not immune to ant bites, so it feeds at an ant or termite colony for just a minute or so before moving on. Also, the giant anteaters have one of the lowest body temperatures for a mammal, which is about 91 degrees Fahrenheit or 32.7 degrees Celsius, presumably in response to their low-calorie insect diet. But a new report reveals something you might not know about these hairy termite gobblers. They've also been known to kill people. However, anteaters are not aggressive, but they can be fierce. A cornered anteater will not hesitate to rear up on its hind legs, using its tail for balance, and lash out with dangerous claws. The giant anteater's claws are some 4 inches long, and the animal can fight off even a puma or jaguar. Number 4. Deer mice. The deer mouse might be the cutest among our problematic rodents. These tiny creatures have big eyes, large ears, and a white underbelly, but they can be deadly too. The tiny rodent is known to carry a rare, fatal disease called hantavirus. It can be found in their urine, saliva, and droppings. According to the Washington Department of Health, people most commonly contract the virus when those materials are stirred up, making the virus airborne. The hantavirus can cause a severe respiratory illness known as hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, HPS, which has a high fatality rate if not treated promptly. Early symptoms of HPS include fever, muscle aches, and fatigue, but it can quickly progress to difficulty breathing and organ failure. Deer mice are particularly dangerous because they often enter homes and other structures during colder months, seeking warmth and shelter. Their small size allows them to squeeze through tiny openings, making it difficult to keep them out. The CDC recommends sealing all cracks and gaps in buildings to prevent infestations and using traps to control their population. When cleaning areas where deer mice have been active, it's crucial to avoid sweeping or vacuuming, as this can stir up contaminated particles. Instead, the CDC advises using a disinfectant solution and wearing gloves and a mask to minimize exposure. Despite their role in spreading hantavirus, deer mice are an important part of the ecosystem, serving as prey for larger animals like owls, snakes, and foxes. These species of mice are found throughout Washington and much of North America. They prefer to live in woodland areas but are found in the desert too. They primarily live in rural areas, according to the DOH. Barns, sheds, and cabins are common places to find deer mice. So, when cleaning up after these rodents, several precautions are to be followed, according to the CDC. Number 3. Giant pandas. The panda bears are animals native to south-central China and are often described as cute and unbelievably lazy. They tend to spend most of their days resting around, eating bamboo leaves and shoots. With that, you may think that these pandas are herbivores, but in fact, they have a digestive system of a carnivore. And with that information, you may question if pandas are dangerous to humans. Even though they look harmless, pandas can be dangerous to humans. Pandas have powerful jaws and claws, and they are much stronger than most men. In the wild, pandas are solitary animals and prefer to avoid human interaction, but if they feel cornered or threatened, they can become highly aggressive. Their strength is not just in their bite, but also in their ability to overpower threats with their muscular build. Pandas have been known to defend their territory fiercely, especially mothers protecting their cubs, which can make them unpredictable in certain situations. While attacks on humans are rare, there have been documented cases of pandas injuring zookeepers or tourists who got too close. Their deceptively slow movements can also be misleading, as pandas are capable of quick bursts of speed when provoked. This combination of strength, sharp teeth, and claws makes them a force to be reckoned with, despite their cuddly appearance. The best way to stay away from danger is to keep yourself at a safe distance and not make wild pandas feel threatened. However, despite feeding on plants 99% of the time, pandas can also eat meat. And so, in order to be able to eat meat, pandas have strong and sharp teeth, pointier than animals that only eat plants. Strong teeth mean that if a panda bites you, it will hurt you a lot. Their grip is also powerful, and you wouldn't want to find yourself in a clash with a giant panda. Number 2. Moose. They're easily among the top 3 of nearly every hiker's must-see lists in places like Canada and Alaska. They are massive, weighing up to 1,600 pounds and standing over 6.5 feet tall. These hairy animals appear to be so awkward and friendly that many assume they couldn't possibly be aggressive. But that's not always the case. In fact, there are more moose attacks in Alaska than black bear and grizzly attacks combined. The long, spindly legs, droopy nose, and furry bell, which, in case you're wondering, is that dangly bit that hangs from the underside of the mammal's chin, give the moose an appearance of something not entirely harmless but a little goofy too. The general perception is that the moose are just big, lumbering herbivores that wouldn't hurt a fly, and while that holds true most of the time, moose, if provoked, can be just as dangerous as the clawed and fanged omnivores that people usually worry about in the wild. For starters, moose can run up to 35 miles per hour, which is at least 2 times faster than the average person. Plus, they outnumber bears nearly 3 to 1 in Alaska, where the largest North American moose subspecies reside, and records have shown that they wound 5 to 10 people annually. Compare that to an average of 2 bear attacks per year in North America across the continent. Number 1. Stingray. Stingrays are flat, disc-shaped creatures with fins that look like wings. Species of stingrays can be either saltwater or freshwater, but they're most often associated with tropical ocean climates, and their sting is a commonly reported beachgoer injury. A stingray's tail is long, thin, and tapered, much like a whip. At the end of the tail are one or more barbed spines covered by a sheath. Each spine contains venom, and the stingray's tail can pack a powerful, incredibly painful sting. Stingrays generally aren't dangerous, given that they have a reputation for being gentle. They often burrow beneath the sand in the shallows and swim in the open water, and will usually only sting when disturbed or stepped on by unaware swimmers. However, if you're stung by a stingray, you may experience symptoms like abdominal pain, anxiety, bleeding, diarrhea, dizziness, extreme pain at the wound site, fatigue, headache, low blood pressure, muscle cramps, nausea, necrosis, death of surrounding tissue, pain in the extremities, painful or swollen lymph nodes near the site, and many more. It's also possible for the heart to stop or for the body to go into shock after a stingray sting. Some people have died as a result of stings in their chests and abdomens. So, in a way, these gentle creatures can still be very dangerous. That wraps up today's video on 20 cute animals you need to run away from. If you know of any others that should have made the list, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to check out our other cool videos showing up on the screen right now. See you next time.